Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to jump back to the 1300s to explore a really profound medieval text called the Dialogue of Divine Providence. Now, I know that sounds ancient, but it tackles these huge, timeless questions about life and suffering. And honestly, its answers might just change how you think about your own struggles. I mean, it's the big one, isn't it? For as long as people have been around, we've been asking, why do we suffer? Well, this incredible dialogue offers a pretty powerful perspective, reframing pain not as some kind of meaningless curse, but as a really crucial part of a much bigger, much more meaningful journey. So the way this whole text is set up is as a conversation, a dialogue, between a soul that's searching for answers and God. And it gets right to it. It tackles suffering head-on, placing it right at the center of the soul's path to growth. Okay, here's the absolute core idea. Suffering isn't random. The dialogue suggests that pain is actually a tool, kind of like a sculptor's chisel. It's used to chip away all the rough parts of us to, reveal the masterpiece that the soul is meant to be. And what's so cool is that it doesn't just say, hey, pain is useful. It actually lays out a process. It's a catalyst, right? That discomfort from suffering creates this powerful desire for something better. And that desire is what pushes the soul to develop virtues, which then become the road back to spiritual peace. I mean, this sounds a lot like what we now call post-traumatic growth, the idea that you can come out of a major struggle as a stronger person. So once the soul starts to get a handle on the why behind its pain, it comes to this huge fork in the road. It's a fundamental choice about how you're going to navigate the world itself. And here are the two paths, laid out in a really powerful metaphor. On one hand, you have the river of the world, this chaotic, stormy sea of distractions and fleeting pleasures that just wants to pull you under. But then you have the bridge of truth, a solid, steady path that rises above all that chaos. The choice is pretty stark. Get swept away by the current, or find your footing and walk across. Of course, just choosing the right path, that's only the beginning. No great journey is complete without a challenge, and on this one, the soul has to face a really formidable adversary. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The text's view of evil is, well, it's not what you might expect. Temptation isn't presented as this overwhelming, irresistible force. The devil is more like a gatekeeper whose job is to test your resolve. He can show you the wrong path, sure, but he can't make you take a single step on it. The power and the choice is always yours. And this quote from the text just nails that idea perfectly. See, it's an invitation, not a command. The devil can only offer this water of death to people who are already thirsty for it. He can't make anyone drink. The responsibility and the power stays with the soul. All right, so you've got this raging river below you. You've got temptation trying to trip you up. How in the world does the soul actually get across this huge divide? Well, the text gives us a pretty clear blueprint. The way forward is the bridge itself. It's this structure of truth and virtue that gives you safe passage. And, within the 14th century Christian world this text comes from, it's not just some abstract idea. The bridge is actually identified as a specific figure of truth, Christ, who is seen as the living embodiment of that path. And crossing this bridge isn't a single jump. The dialogue describes it as climbing 3 distinct steps. The first step is all about letting go of the stuff that's weighing you down, the things trying to pull you into the river. The second step is about actively choosing to do good, to practice virtue and compassion. And that third step, the final one, is arriving at a place of real, peaceful connection. So, after all that, the suffering, resisting temptation, the long journey up those 3 steps on the bridge, what's the payoff? What's waiting on the other side? After all the struggle, the noise, the confusion, the soul finally finds peace. And not just the peace of a quiet afternoon, but this profound tranquility that comes from deep understanding. It's a total shift in perspective, where the why of everything that happened finally clicks into place. And this is the ultimate prize. The soul gets a complete understanding of truth. It sees the whole picture. That deep, restless longing that drove the whole journey, it's finally satisfied. Now, hardship doesn't just vanish from life, but the soul now has the patience and the strength to face it without breaking. And maybe most importantly, that fear of spiritual death, of getting swept away by the river, is just gone. It's a state of real, lasting peace. It's amazing how a text from the 14th century can feel so modern. It gives us more than just history. It offers this timeless framework for finding meaning in our own lives, in our own struggles. So the question it leaves us with is a personal one. What kind of bridge are you building to get across the turbulent rivers you face every day?